So this is the assembly of my Galentine's Day card with my heart card insert. I have two pieces that are identical for the back and the front of the bag, and then I have this little topper piece that'll go up here. So you have score lines on the black pieces that are telling you where to adhere the white pieces so that you don't have to worry about proper placement. So I'm just going to glue those pieces down. I've glued all my layers to the front and the back and to the toppers of my bag. And next I'm going to do the bag assembly. Okay, so this is the bottom of my bag. A scored rectangle in the center with tabs on each side. And I'm just folding all these tabs inwards like so. And then I have a liner piece that I'm going to adhere to the bottom of my bag. So I'm just putting glue on the back of that rectangle and adhering it to the bottom piece of my bag like so. So for the side piece, I've already folded one down, but I'm just going to show you what I've done. So you have a tab on each side, so you want to fold down on the tabs on both sides of that piece, and then you have a score line in the center, and you just want to sort of push it inwards like so until you reach the top of that triangle, and then you want to push down on that triangle until it reaches the peak. This is the bottom of my handbag with the tabs upwards, and these are the sides with my score lines all folded. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this tab inwards. Just going to put glue along the tab, putting my side piece so that it's just up against that score line where that tab is folded upwards. So if you flip it over, you'll see that your cut line is just at that score line, and you want to do that on the other side as well. So I've put glue all over the tab. I'm placing my side piece in position, and I'm just folding that tab downwards. And you want to make sure that that cut edge of your side piece is right up to the score line on the bottom of your bag. So these are the back and the front of my handbag. I'm putting the pretty side down. I'm just putting glue along this long tab, and then butting my edge right up against the score line and gluing that tab down. Flip it over and make sure that's exactly where you need it. So that cut edge of that larger rectangle has to be exactly against the folded edge of your tab on the smaller rectangle. And you're going to do the same thing with the other tab for the other side. Just put glue along your tab and then fold your tab down. And while it's flat, I'm just going to decorate the top part of my bag. Put glue on those decorative flaps and just glue them onto the top of that flap like so. And do the same with the other side. I wanted to work on the little insert card while my bag is still open and easily accessible. So I have this little card that I've created, and then I have a little pocket that I want to insert it into. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold down on the score lines for this card. I'm just going to fold upwards on these two top score lines like so. It forms an L shape. So you have two sets of score lines at the top and the bottom for each one of these little cutouts. What you want to do, it might be easier to start with the center one. You want to sort of bend the center one so that the bottom of your card is flat, and you're raising it up until it bends at that second score line. And then you're going to do that with the second set of score lines as well. You're just sort of bending your card towards itself. But go slowly because you don't want it to miss the score line and bend somewhere where you really don't want it to bend. So with your left hand, you're holding on to the center of your heart, and you're just sort of pushing. And you just keep going until it lays flat, just like so. And then you want to fold that heart part over. And this is basically the inside of your card. And this is my card base. I got my Cricut to write the sentiment, and I have a little topper that has the smallest inset. So I'm just going to glue that down while I can still flatten it. Now I'm going to adhere my heart to the card base. Fold your card down in its closed position, and then place it so that the top portion of your heart is right up against the fold line, and you have an equal distance between these two sides. So apply glue to these little cutout parts and then to the rest of the piece. And then you just want to fold your card down and then open your card up and fold up the other piece. The white part of your card, these pages here, should be just up against one another like so, and you just want to put glue on this bottom portion below the heart, like a little staircase there. That's where you want to apply your glue. You're going to make sure that the bottom of your white piece is flush with the piece that you've already adhered to the card base, and just fold down like so. And there we have it, our Galentine's Day card. For these two little circles, I'm going to put glue on the lower half of my circle, and then I'm using my mat as a guide here. Approximately the halfway mark is here. I'm just going to glue that down like so. I'm going to take the second circle, put glue all over the surface of it. So this is the interior of my bag again. I want this little pocket to be adhered to the side of my bag, and I want my card to fit inside with just that half circle showing. So I'm just going to put glue along the 3 tabs that are on the edge of my pocket piece. So I'm placing it so that it's along the tab on the bottom, and approximately the same distance between the 2 sides here. And that's where my little card is going to fit inside. And I'm going to put glue on side tab. We're going to be doing this with all 4 of them, so just choose one to start with. Bring your side up and the front or the back of your handbag up, and make sure that they join nicely at the side. You want to lay it flat on your mat. I'm going in there with my bone folder. You could use a ruler, and just squishing that tab down so that glue distributes evenly along that tab. And then we're going to do that with the other side as well. I'm just putting glue along the tab. I'm bringing my side piece up to the larger panel, making sure that the score line is exactly on the cut line. And then again, laying it down on my mat, and I'm distributing that glue. And we're going to do the same thing for the 2 other tabs. I'm going to put glue on both tabs, and then position them exactly where I want them from the outside. And then I'm flipping it down on my mat. I'm just spreading the glue on that tab just by pressing down with my bone folder. You could also use a ruler or something with a straight edge. So next we're going to work on the handles. So I have 2 long rectangles, or 11.5 inches. They're as long as I can make them on the Cricut mat without using the larger mat. And I have my buckles. My buckles are foiled on one side and this brown on the other side. So I'm going to, and I wanted them to be a little sturdier, so I'm going to double them up. Make sure that each buckle has 2 layers and that the foiled layer is on the outside. We'll start with these little black pieces. Now I didn't put a score line in these pieces because I don't want them to fold. I want them to sort of roll around. Using one of my Cricut tools, I'm just sort of folding it around the center. And then I'm going to take one of my buckles, put one of these black pieces through. So you're going to put glue on 1/2 and just sort of spread that glue. I'm going to adhere my black piece to my white piece, so I'm putting glue just past the buckle all the way down to the bottom. Center this as best I can so that there's an even border all the way around. And then I'm going to put glue on the back of my white piece, and I'm just going to glue it down. I'm going to try to center it over so this black opening, and at the same time I want the white piece to be at the top of the white decorative pieces on my bag. And you're going to do that with all 4 of your buckle pieces. So we have these 2 rectangles with score lines at each end, and you just want to fold down on those score lines. Just grab them with your thumbs just over those score lines and bring them together, and that's how they fit into the buckles, like so. Just put a bead of glue just at the very end and just adhere your strap to itself like so. So I'm doing that with the other one as well. So I'm going to do that with the other strap too. And then I have these pieces that are the zipper. This piece is my zipper pull. I'm just going to glue both layers together. And then I have this little tiny rectangle, and I'm going to use my Cricut tool again, help shape it into that round shape. I'm just going to put it into my zipper pull and then glue it to itself. I'm just going to use my reverse tweezers until that glue sets. And next I'm going to move on to my zipper. I've just cut the zipper piece out of adhesive foil, and I am just going to adhere it to the smaller of my ovals. So I have a matching foil cardstock. I've cut a little tiny piece for my stopper, just adhering it to the black base to put my little pull onto my zipper using double-sided tape. So I have my little zipper, which I'm just going to adhere to my bag like so. And then I have my little Galentine sentiment. Then I have my heart piece that has the ring to it. And then my 4 layers for my mandala heart. And I'm just going to adhere that as a little decorative tag with a piece of ribbon.